You mentioned this already, but like many emerging players, you went out on loans to various clubs: Swindon, Colchester, Coventry, Watford, and Derby. As a young man and new to the game, how did you handle the loans and kind of elaborating on before? Where do you feel that it finally clicked for you?
It was a mixed bag, to be honest. My loans. The first two were brilliant. Swindon was where I made my league debut. And at that stage, I was playing resi football and had obviously done well in the youth teams, got in the reserve team, was doing well, but it was ready for something else because you can't quite replicate that, that first team football and playing for 3 points and all that. So at that stage, I think 18, I was ready for it. So I loved it. That first season that I went to Swindon and Colchester in the same season. I maybe got like 30 games under my belt. Before that, I don't think even though you are a professional, on paper, I don't think you are a professional footballer really till you've gone out and you've done a season getting that football under your belt. So that was great. But I'd done well, and then I needed that next step. So to go from sort of Swindon and Colchester to Tottenham's team is a big gap to bridge. So I think it was important, and my next one was Coventry in the Championship. Obviously another step up. Could I handle that? And I only had a month there, and I was recalled. I done really well. I think I played like 4 or 5 games only, but scored a few goals, done well, and got recalled at that stage. And that was when I got put in the side. So without them loans, I don't think I was obviously being monitored, especially in the commentary one. I don't think if I hadn't have done well and shown that I could handle that sort of football, that I'd have got recalled and put in the Spurs side. So. And obviously being a coach now, I see that for young lads at our football club or any level, that they're the progressions you need. Because you can't just jump from, unless you're a real special player, and it does happen from time to time, but from youth team straight into a first team, it's a massive gap to bridge. So them loans, for me, were invaluable, especially them first 3. After that, it got more difficult because I'd got in Spurs' side, had a taste of that, played in the Premier League, and that was what I wanted. But then I found myself out of Spurs' side, out of favour, not playing any football again. And you go from having played X amount of games and playing in the Premier League to all of a sudden back in the resis, and now you're like, you ain't happy anymore. So the next couple of loans I had to go back down. I went to Derby, which didn't go great for me. I went Watford, which turned out all right in the end. Struggled to start with, but then turned out all right. And but once you've had that taste of first team football, there's no going back. It's really, really difficult to then go back to resis or to drop down a level. It's tough. So mixed bag with the loans, but definitely like invaluable experience.